Welcome everyone in this new video tutorial about the multiplayer combat editor. In this video we're going to learn how you can use everything contained in the modifier class in the status class. So if you haven't watched the videos about modifier, watch them and go back to that one. So in the other videos, in the modifiers video, we've been through different types of modifier you can apply to your objects in world, to your actors. And we've been through forbid actions and stat modifiers and etc. And we were coding the logic in our modifier class. But in the status class, you can actually call that logic as well. So you can create. So for instance, I'm going to showcase that. I'm going to showcase what I mean. We created a modifier which is a silence, and we are applying that modifier using a status which is applied by a skill. All right. And in the silence modifier, we coded that it was actually forbidding an action. So if we go back to our status effect, we could actually be coding that in another way. Instead of doing this, we could be dragging a wire out of the return modifier there and search for any feature showcased in the modifier class. So any video you watched where you learned how to modify stuff at runtime, you can actually call that in your status class by adding a status modifier and dragging a wire out of the return modifier and do anything you like here. So we could be doing this. And in this case, why would I want to spawn BP my silence? Because BP my silence already forbid the action. And then I'm saying, in addition to the effect of that modifier, what I'm doing, I'm forbidding the action. So in the case you are coding your effects directly in the status like this, you don't need to specify that you need silence here. You can just say I want a simple modifier, a modifier which has no code but the built-in MCE features. So if you do that, it's just going to create a blank modifier and you can code whatever you want here. Forbidding the action, adding a stats modifier, toggling the regeneration or whatever. You can code whatever. So why do we have these two options? Either silencing it this way or either silencing it this way. So these two bits of code do the same thing. Why would I want to do that rather than this? Well, if you start having multiple different skills which spawn multiple different statuses, you might not want, for instance, maybe you have 10 skills which apply a silencing effect to your game, and maybe you don't want, and maybe for each of these skills there is a different status which spawns, because I don't know, maybe your status, your different type of status have different icons, or I don't know. And maybe you don't want to code this in all of your statuses, so you just wrap it up this logic into your silence modifier. And then in all the status effects you have which needs to call silence, you are just going to say add status modifier silence. And it doesn't mean you cannot add custom code to that. Each of the status which are calling this can still be implementing other logic, can still add logic on top of the silence effect by just calling any function you learned in the modifier playlist from the node, from dragging the return modifier node and type in feature. These are all the features you can call on a modifier or on a status from that node. That node is just returning the modifier created by the status. So that's how you can use all the modifier logic in your status effects. So that's it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.